Hey everybody, Jason here with Skeleton Key Tactical at the range with Alien Gear Holsters in northern Idaho, our little secret readout here. I want to talk about the mag change with your pistol. A couple different ways to do this. Most of them are wrong. I'm going to show you the right way to do this that takes a little bit of practice, but it works pretty well. So we're going to be starting from the position of I have a magazine in the gun. It's empty. I just locked my slide back. So I'm in my shooting position, shooting away, bang, 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 and my slide locks to the rear. First two things are going to happen simultaneously is I'm going to move the gun and drop my mag. At the same time, my non-shooting hand is going for the magazine that's in my belt. So I'm here, one motion, it's drop the mag, pull the next mag out. When you do that, and we're going to break these all down piece by piece here in just a second. It goes back in the gun, seats, and then I'm going to use either my non-shooting hand thumb or my shooting hand thumb, it doesn't really matter, to drive that slide home and send the next round down range. All right, so let's talk about how we did that real quick. We'll start with a empty magazine and break this down piece by piece, just so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. There's a lot going on, and we kind of need to do it piece by piece to make sure that we're catching everything. Okay, so I'm stopping again in my. I just got done shooting my last round. I didn't realize it because I was in so hard, shooting so hard for practice, and my slide locks back. When I go to drop my magazine, okay, first thing we're going to talk about. We don't need to reach up with our non-shooting hand and pull the magazine out of the gun. Most guns will drop just by pushing the button, okay? Most of us don't have a thumb that's long enough to maintain our normal shooting grip and still reach the button. My thumb can physically touch the button, but I can't put pressure on it to actually push and get the magazine to release. So what I do is I sort of go from this position, I sort of throw the gun back to myself, and when I do that, it rotates right into my thumb, and I use my fingers right here. So if you notice, I got a nice wrap around here on my grip when I'm shooting, and when I go to do my mag change, you can see air through there, and I'm using the tips of my fingers to drive the gun back into the button, driving the button into my already waiting thumb, essentially is what we're talking about there. All right, so one more time real quick. There's a full grip. This hand comes off. I move the gun over to my waiting thumb, the magazine comes out. Okay, that part's done, it's right there. While that's going on, I'm taking my non-shooting hand and I'm making a shape just like this. Pointed finger, thumb, like an L, and we're gonna turn this so that my index finger is pointing down, and I'm basically start at my belly button. I got my magazines on my non-shooting side, and my finger's now pointing down. I'm going to drag my thumb along the top of my belt until I get to the first magazine. And when I do, it comes right out in between. What I'm actually holding there is the thumb and the base of my finger. You can see the angle on that, okay? And when that comes out, that index finger is right along the front edge of the magazine. Ideally, you want the fleshy part of your finger right on the tip of that bullet so that when I have my magazine the hole in the bottom of the gun where the mag goes is going to go right in. My finger literally points it right in. I can see it. I'm pointing at it. I'm holding this piece stationary. This is my moving one. It goes right in. I slide it in till it clicks, and then my magazine is in the gun, and I'm ready to go to the next part, which is I'm going to redo my grip. I'm either going to go from here. Usually I use my non-shooting thumb, and I hit this slide release button right here. So let me do that again real quick. This comes out, it's all lined up just like this. I got my magazine well here, I can see it goes in. As soon as it clicks, I'm here. Slide goes forward with this thumb right here. Re-grip, back out and shoot. One thing I want to talk about real quick on the magazine well, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I know I'm in the right place with my magazine when I can see the bottom edge of this right here so that's the right side as I'm holding the gun of the magazine well over here. I can just barely see the bottom edge of it right here. A good tip here is, and I stole this from another guy, because I steal most things from other guys, is right on the inside edge of this right side of your magazine where you can put a bright orange paint marking, or you can go get a white, bright yellow, orange, or white or something. So when you come back in, you can see right there, you can see it. Right now it's black on the inside of my black plastic Glock pistol, but if I had a white one there, even in the lighting that we're in right now, I'd be able to see it, pick it up pretty quick. The other thing is when we talk about where we're going to do stuff, right? Imagine that you're at the auto parts store or the supermarket, and you're going to pick up a bottle of oil to put in your truck, or you're going to look at a can of soup or something like that. When you pull that off the shelf, nobody among us grabs it and goes, hold it out here. Okay, if you're old like me and your eyes are starting to go bad, you'll hold it out at arm's length. But naturally, what your body wants to do is pull that off the shelf and look at it right here, in this realm right here. Same place you read a book when you're, sitting at home reading a book in your lazy chair or whatever you're doing, which is magically enough exactly where I'm talking to. It's the same distance. We want to come up a little higher, keep our head up to watch where our adversary is, but it's the same distance away from my nose as this is, and that's where I'm doing this task, my mag change, whether it's the retention one or the slide lock one, it doesn't really matter, but that's the distance we're talking about. I see a lot of guys doing these mag changes where they've been so trained by the safety Nazis to hold their gun straight, and it's like they're trying to do these mag changes like this, literally. And it's like, why would you do that? Well, this is how I was taught. Okay, well, you were taught wrong, because this isn't right, because I can't see the hole where the magazine has to go in the mag well, and this is not, we don't do any work at all with extended arms. Bring it back where it needs to go, and then we're gonna seat it that way. Okay, and what I mean by we don't do that work, if you're loading magazines with bullets, you take your bullets, you put them in your mags. Everybody does this in close, because what do we have here? Maximum amount of strength. If I try to do this out here, I can't put the tension on the bullets to get them in. I can do it, but it's much easier back here. Nobody uses a screwdriver out here. We do it in here so we can see and we can apply torque that we need to. It's the same thing when we're doing all these different tasks. That's kind of the down and dirty on that. If you got any questions or you want more info, go to our website at aliengearholsters.com or check out our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.